Taoiseach, if we're going to protect biodiversity, improve biodiversity and increase forest cover as part of that, something radical has to change with Oireachtas, the state forest company. The river stick forest sale is an absolute disgrace. And of course, before Christmas, I had to help local community in the Enniskerry area ring the bells about Oireachtas' plan to sell a forest in that area, a public forest in that area, which is a public right-of-way used by the local community. And luckily, we were successful in that campaign. But what is going on in Oireachtas? And we need to address its mandate. And part of the problem is it is driven, a bit like the ESB making all the profits from the energy crisis at the moment, it's driven by profit. It's not driven primarily by a concern to expand the forest estate, but about making money.
Thank you, Deputy.
And that has to stop, and we need to change the mandate of Oireachtas.
Deputy Parliament.
Basically, I welcome the comments made in respect to the biodiversity. Citizens' Assembly, articulated by Deputy MacDonald and Deputy Christopher O'Sullivan. I do take the point that we need to do more in respect to the review of the NPS, National Parks and Wildlife Service, and indeed the Agri-Environment Scheme, and I think we need to work, and that's where the carbon tax funds are important as well, to provide funding for that agri-environmental scheme. In respect of the Citizens' Assembly on drugs that Deputy O'Riordan has raised with Deputy Horrigan, I did say it would be the latter part of the year, but in the interim, not just interim, I mean, officials in my office are working in terms of time, endeavouring to recreate an area-based partnership approach in key areas that are suffering the most from the drugs epidemic and the impact on societies and communities. I think we need to revert back to the old rapid approach, drug task force areas, where we need multidisciplinary and multi-pronged approach across departments, across agencies, from the bottom up, to deal with a lot of what's happening on the ground right now. So we're not waiting for the Citizens' Assembly to do work in relation to drugs, but the intention is that we'd have the Drug Citizens' Assembly set up in the latter part of this year. In relation to my own view in terms of reconciliation on the island, I think we need to engage both at political party level and in terms of a community level, different traditions coming together. I'm not clear in my own that a Citizens' Assembly is the best model in terms of dialogue and in terms of the more consistent long-haul engagement that's required. The kind of long-haul engagement that required that led to the Good Friday Agreement. A Citizens' Assembly would not have led to a Good Friday Agreement.